Good morning, everyone. Tradingology's Trading Room. Dan coming to you on January 13th, 2021. We'll get the door open here. We have yet another VXX Wednesday. So those members that are VXX, we did a brief meeting earlier this morning, and that recording will be in there later. We do have a live trade on for the VXX. So if you're in there, go check it out. It's not super time sensitive. You can still get in those. So check the VXX channel for that trade. Good morning, Dave. As always, joining us from Strong Market. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I figured I'd pop up crude oil since it's oil inventory day and I got it on the 1 minute chart. Here's the fireworks for the morning. Good morning, Andre.
Kind of volatile morning in stocks here. We were down, looks like, looked like everything was going up, and then we get these downdrafts in the futures market. We were down, I don't know, down almost 10 handles, I think 10, 11 handles on the ES. And then we bounced right back again.
Yeah, look at this volatility on the VIX here this morning. This is on a 5 minute, I think, right now. Yeah. Some pretty interesting little candles coming into the morning there. So that's probably exactly when you were seeing it.
Yeah.
It was 9 o'clock your time.
Yeah, big downdraft. I went long the ES right about there, and actually just a few handles above that. But I said, boy, it's a buying opportunity here. The one thing that we have noticed over the last, we've been talking about it now almost every single day, are the internals. Internals are terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really bad. They're just, flatlined here, and it's been like that for a while.
It's I've noticed too that we always talk about it. We know there's manipulation in the markets, but I think this just makes it even more susceptible when there isn't hurting going one way or another. Those market makers can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, they can push it around, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we see it opened up positive, almost 500, dropped negative. Now we're back to positive. The volume's just horizontal, kind of bouncing. Looks like it bounced right off. It tried to go positive on the volume. And it is an interesting thing we've seen over time is that it tends to bounce off these zero lines.
Yeah. And, this reminds me a lot of the top of the market in 2007, early 2007. Same thing happened. We had this, and then, late 2007, early 2008. A lot of the internals were like this. We kept going up, but the internals were just flatlined, and I wondered how long it was going to last, and it didn't last long.
Crude oil inventories came out dead on their forecast at negative 3.2 million, and previously it was negative 8 million. I don't follow oil very much, but I keep an eye on some news every once in a while.
Yeah, so it looks like a little bit of the inventory was used then, so we had a -8. Minus 3.2 is actual forecast, right on the forecast. And what's crude oil doing this morning?
So it didn't do a whole lot that I saw. Let's pull up the, where was it? This one? There we go. Yep, now it had a little dip down, so I had the fake out, and now it's going higher.
Followed the ES.
Yep.
Yeah, followed the ES. That's what it did. Interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, it looks like, if we get this flatline market internals, that's an early warning sign of a potential drop in the market. It may not be huge, but a potential drop in the market there. So keep an eye on those. It can last for a few weeks, and it has already.
Looks like NQ is our leader today for futures contracts, up, creeping up towards 0.5% up, but everybody else is right around the zero line. RTY is -3 or 0.3, I should say, excuse me.
Yeah.
YM and ES are right around zeros. So yeah, there was some, that's a nice opportunity right there on both pre-market and post-market for some couple of little longs on the ES. So did you use your new target hunter strategy on this one, Dave? Cryptos are going down less. So maybe they're going to start to slow down. We'll see.
Well, we did have, we mentioned yesterday that DXY was going to probably go down a little bit. It had gone up in a 5-wave pattern, which is kind of what we're looking for a longer term move higher. And then it pulled back a little bit. So we looked at 90 as the support zone, dipped below that just a little bit, around 89, 92, I think it was something like that. Yep, right down in there, and then it's bounced back a little bit higher. You got that on a daily time frame. I'm not sure, not really sure where it's going to go at this point. We could see some consolidation here before we move higher. If we break down below that 89, 92 level, we could go back and test the 89.60.
Yeah, right in this area.
No, that's 84.
Oh, you want way up here?
Yeah, 89.60, which is not quite the low there, but it's it's like,
Yeah, I got a big range here for a big support.
yeah, you got a big range there. I mean, I don't think if we break down past that previous low, then we're probably going to go down to the 88 level. But right now, with the action that we've seen over the past week, it looks like a 5-wave up, nice little Elliott wave bounce. That is not a C wave. So a C wave typically is a opposite of the major trend. Instead, it was a 5-wave up, which indicates a new trend is starting. Our asymmetric trade hit one of the 30 calls that we have on UUP traded at 13 cents. So somebody's buying them up.
I've noticed a lot of activity today in the UUP numbers where, yeah, something's going on there.
Yeah.
Even the 40s, the spread suddenly got exaggerated, which is not typical during the day. Usually on the opens and close, yeah, they exaggerate, but so that's kind of interesting.
Yep.
Be nice to get out of those shorts real close to zero there if they'd let us. Then just let the other side run.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So right now we got that was the last trade on those UUP calls. Somebody bought them at 13 cents. And by the way, if you didn't know it, if you're following it on your paper trading account or your real account, if you go over to the trade tab and go to the option spreads, you can set it up into a chart. You can take any of the options and put it into a chart. And you can, I have it on my little ticker that I have. So I've got like 5 stocks listed here. And then I don't put the charts in there. I just put the ticker in the last price.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, where you can actually put the option contract in a regular chart to see its
in a chart.
price.
That's right. Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
All you do is right click on the option you want to follow and say, copy that, and then put it into a chart.
I could do that here just to show it. We'll pull over the trade tab here on we were talking about TZA earlier. Maybe we'll get into that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll pick on just any of these guys. So they always, that's the one thing, is they're very odd numbers. That's why you have to do the copy, because you don't want to try and type these in. The option contracts are very long, each specific one. So if I copy this one, I can drop that into a chart.
Yep. That's exactly right. Just pop it in there, hit enter, and boom, you got it.
So there you can watch the actual, each different call. So there's 5, 50, 55.
You got the right one though. Yeah.
Yep.
The one that you copied is the right one.
Yep. So there you can track it.
You can trade off of that too. If you open up Active Trader, you can actually buy and sell right from that chart.
True.
If you're a really active option trader.
Looks like that price isn't moving much today. Couple little tiny bars. I got too many lines in the way.
Well, it should be, those are the calls, and it should be down because it does track the RTY.
Yeah, they are trending down for sure. Low of 136 there. So that option itself is dropping.
Right. And it's a call side. So it should be dropping with the RTY.
There you go. So in case you didn't know, you can grab an option, put that specific contract on the chart and watch that chart.
Yep. Other than that, not much going on. I did mention in the VXX trading system a stock called NGA, and the news on that was that there is Amazon evidently now NGA. Let me just kind of back up a little bit. NGA is a special acquisition company, SPAC, and is preparing to merge with the electric bus maker known as Lion Electric, which I never heard of before, but it's Lion Electric. And evidently, Lion Electric had secured Amazon had secured an option to purchase a stake in the company, so that's why it's up. So Amazon, if they, they start to roll out some electronic vehicles for deliveries, they took a stake in Lion Electric. NGA may take Lion Electric public, and so that's why it's up. And I caught a nice trade on that this morning. Yeah, I got in this morning. Let me see what my average fill was. I'm out now. I don't think it doesn't tell me what my average fill was, but it was right around the $30 level. And I got out when it popped up to 31.50. So I got a nice one and a
Nice
half.
timing.
Yep, nice. Yeah. And then it completely reversed.
Well, that's because you sold all the contracts. You drove the market down.
Well, I did have my sell stop up around 31.97. I figured I'd undercut that 32 even level, but I didn't. It wasn't pumping up the way I thought it would, so I got out at 31.50 instead.
Yeah, it was definitely looked like it was running out of gas here in one final little burst. So perfect timing there.
Yeah. Got to take profits when you get them. Got to take them.
Absolutely.
Ring that register.
That's what the crypto community needs to learn.
Good morning, Andre.
All right, crypto friends. I still love you.
Yeah. It's just, in fact, I was thinking about writing a book, and I thought the perfect title would be The Cult of Crypto.
Oh, there you go.
So we'll see. Due December 2021.
And just to keep you guys up to speed, in case you haven't seen, they're trying to do another vote.
I think that's why we've been volatile in the futures market.
Debates on the floor right now, apparently. I'm definitely not watching that live.
Yeah.
But that's all the headlines right now is impeachment talks. I think they're just trying, they just don't like him so much that they want to go through this effort so he can't run in 2024, even though I think his daughter's going to. All right, Andre says, are there any asymmetric trades still okay to open today? Is the spreadsheet current on Tradinology? Well, that was the spreadsheet that was open when they were all placed. UUP could be still a good opportunity to get in, I would say. The rest of them are starting to already get to the end of their legs. Dave, would you agree?
I would say the only really good opportunity to get into at this point is still the UUP. I've got the 30 calls. My average price on those, let me see what I've been paying.
So it's January 2022 contracts, Andre, if you don't know yet. So it's next year's expirations.
Yes, January 2022. My average cost on those, she said I didn't realize it, but I bought a lot at 9 cents, but my average cost is around 10 cents. So if you can get them for 10 cents or better, it's still probably a good opportunity. I bought some at 12, I bought some at 11, I bought quite a bit at 9 whenever I had the opportunity. Over the last couple of weeks, actually, the 9 popped up once in a while. But
my average on the 30s is 16, so you're way better than me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I bought some at 12.8. I bought a lot at 12.8, but I think at that time I had bought 100 at 12.8. Guess how many I have now?
1,000.
Pretty close, 770.
Just on the 30s itself or on the spread?
just on the 30s.
Got it.
I'm only short 386 on the 40s.
I'm an even 300 on each side. So that's your answer to that one, Andre, is UUP for A trades. And other than that, you can probably scroll back in the real-time update service since I saw you recently rejoined. So welcome back. And you can scroll up to what Dave has talked about, his other tickers for different beaten up stocks and whatnot. So take a look at those in the channel.
Yeah, I got some diamond calls that are going to expire in 2 days. So if the market doesn't drop about 50%, then I'm going to be out that $1,500 on those. Then we got the February and we got the March spies. Well, you don't have February spies, but I do.
Yep, I only got Marches.
Yep. So I think March is probably a little too close. If you wanted to do something in stocks for an asymmetric trade, I'd probably start looking out to June at this point, if you can get them cheap.
All right. Got a decent crowd. Which ones?
I don't know if you want to bring up the option spread there. It's funny, even though the market has gone up so high, some of these SPY options, even at you're talking about the 100 level, are still pretty expensive for some reason. I think people are loading up on some protection.
Not working.
Yeah, let's take a look at the SPYs going out to June.
Look, I already had June open. That's kind of funny.
Hey, nice. Yeah, see, even at the hundreds, they're like 13 cents. I'm not sure I would do that. I wouldn't even go on a spread like the 200 maybe to the 100. What would that be? 200 to 100 would be
it's about 81 cents.
Jeez, that's 70 cents, but it's a 100-point spread. But still, I think that would be kind of expensive at 68 cents. So I'm not sure. Especially if those prices are, they're just at 100, we would need a 279-point drop before those hit the money, hit the money. So I think the probability is going to be low. Do I think there's going to be a sell-off? I think there is. But here's another way. So I'm going to keep the UUP. I love the UUP trade. That's the one that I'm in on a lot. I do like it. The only other thing that I would do, this is kind of funny, is if you look at TZA again.
Sure.
The stock itself is at $5.40. Now it's a triple, so it's going to lose value every single day. But I bought 10. I bought just 10 of them. And I'm going to average cost now. When it hits $2, here's just like the SPY VIX. When that indicator gets really, really high, when it gets up into the 20s, we know that there's a potential for a very large sell-off. And so the TZA is a relationship to the VIX in the same way. It will continue to go lower as stock prices go higher. And so if you dollar cost average, even if you only had 100 of them, and TZA goes to 100, what's that? That's $10,000 on a $500 investment. So there's ways that you can play this without using the options that expire. And it's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I might, because the option prices are kind of expensive. So I wouldn't use TZA options. I would use the stock itself.
Being it's the lower cost one, you can do that.
Yeah.
Get away with it.
Yep. So if you have open up a chart of TZA, because TZA ended up going, and the reason I chose TZA is because it's the ETF, inverse ETF for the Russell 2000. We all know the Russell 2000 has taken a huge move up, and it's probably going to be the one that hits the most when stocks do go down. So put it on a daily, and you can see what happened to it in March, if you can go back that far. So even if you only had 100 of those or 200 of those, I mean, you're talking about a massive return on investment here. Yeah,
Mhm.
you really have to zoom out there. Maybe even put it on a weekly. I don't know. But
Wow.
anyway,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, the thing just exploded, but it did start from a higher level. So it started like at 30 or something. Or yeah,
Yeah, 30, 40, give or take.
yeah, and then it went up to 120. But that's a 3 time. So let's say if you use it if you use it as a correlation to the volatility of the Russell 2000, when it gets under $2, $3, you know that the spread between the volatility of the index and the index itself is so wide that there's a huge potential, not even probability, but there is a huge potential for it to bounce back at some point. So let's say it goes from 2 to 50. Well, that's still a huge
Yeah, it's a major move.
major move there. And so, maybe instead of something that expires, dollar cost average into TZA, it's going to, it's going to continue to lose value. But at some point, just like the SPY VIX indicator, it's going to snap. And at that point, you're going to make pretty good money.
Which is very similar to the entire volatility arbitrage theory of, when things get too far stretched, whether it's gold, silver, whether it's YMNQ, when those relationships get stretched, they come back. So you can take advantage of that return.
That's right. Andre, you said your question is, but it is it not you have no leverage when buying stocks directly? Yeah. However, you're absolutely right. But if you put $1,500 into, this is an asymmetric trade too, because you're talking about a low cost investment in something that actually doesn't expire. In this case, it's a low cost investment in protection of let's say you have a small portfolio or whatever it is, that will continue to lose value until it gets to that stretch mark. We don't know when that stretch mark is going to happen, right? So the only reason we bought the SPY puts back in September and October, November was because we felt that there could be a potential volatility event based on the election results. Now that those are over, we got into the VXX trade this morning, and this is another way to play the volatility, which may happen, and I think will happen at some point, right? I think at some point it probably will happen during this year. We just don't know when. And so if you dollar cost average into something that has the potential to spike 40 times its price, then all you have to do is sit on them because they don't expire. So instead of $1,500 into, let's say, 100 or 200 options in a SPY, I might do something like this instead. And like I said, the premise is that the RTY is stretched more than all of the other indexes. And if it does snap that very large move, and we get a 30% decline, well, that TZA is going to go up 60% or 300% rather. And so that's kind of the premise behind it. I'm going to dollar cost average in, just FYI. I might buy 10 shares here, 10 shares there, dollar cost down. When it gets down to $1.50, I might load up with 1,000 shares and it's $1,500. Same thing as if I put $1,500 into the SPY puts, but they don't expire. So, and then I just wait for the volatility event.
Yeah, looking at the long term on the RTY, as you mentioned, we're so far over the other previous highs before we had the other events that it's just all run and everything.
Yep. I mean, if we get a drop down to 1,800, which is a real possibility here, that's 300 points. TZA could go up from $2 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, that's a pretty nice return right there.
There you go.
So it's the same thing as the asymmetric trade. The only thing is you're substituting a little bit of stock for it instead of options.
I like it. I like it. All right. Well, with that, we're getting close to the top of the hour once again. We appreciate you guys joining. And just a quick mention that VXX trade is already up almost $20. So it's working. So you VXX members, go check it out.
Yep. And we went into all of the parameters and reasons why we got into it this morning.
All right, Dave, I appreciate your time once again on a Wednesday, and we'll catch you guys one more time for Thursday's final trading room session tomorrow. So hit us up in emails if you need it, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the Slack channels.
Yep, my pleasure, Dan. Have a great day, guys.
Take it easy, everyone.